Hello there! This is Parenthesis, and welcome to episode 6 or 7 or whatever it is of the old series Jar Jar Thinks. Today I will be talking about my theory that Palpatine is not alive in episode 9. And believe it or not, there is tons of proof for this
bold claim
of mine. Let's start with the obvious. We have not seen a single hint of Palpatine's face in a single one of the countless trailers and TV spots. And you can say Disney is trying to make us more and more excited to see his face. But this isn't really what Disney is like. Most of the time they either don't hint at a character at all, like Darth Maul or Tarkin, or give us a look at him. Plus, almost every single trailer and TV spot, we hear Palpatine say a line. So it doesn't really work to have him say so many lines and not show his face. I believe that Palpatine will appear in the movie, but not in the present time, but rather in flashbacks of before he died. This claim of mine is supported by the fact that all of Palpatine's lines match the Return of the Jedi era perfectly. His line, "Long have I waited, and now you're coming together." Maybe him talking to some rebels through a hologram around the time that the Rebel Alliance was starting to form into one large group.
This will be the final word in the story of Skywalker.
Maybe him talking to Luke during the scene in which he is electrocuting the... And if you say we've seen the entirety of that electrocuting scene and he didn't say that line, I say
wrong.
You see, in the middle of that scene, the movie cut away to the Battle of Endor, so we may have skipped some parts of the scene. It makes sense that as Palpatine was certain he would kill Luke, he said, "This will be the final word in the story of Skywalker." So this may be just a flashback moment. As for...
Let the final battle begin.
This may be the things Palpatine said to himself before the Battle of Endor. You see, if you remember Return of the Jedi, Palpatine was certain that Endor would be the final battle with the Alliance and never for a second thought that the Alliance would win.
I assure you, we are quite safe from your friends here. It is quite safe from your pitiful little band. From here, you will witness the final destruction of the Alliance and the end of your insignificant rebellion.
So, knowing Palpatine's self-confidence weakness, and based on what he said in Return of the Jedi, this seems like exactly the line from before the Battle of Endor. And he can't be saying this line now, because if he's saying this line now and he is alive, that means he hasn't learned anything from the whole Endor experience, and judging on Palpatine's past character, he always learns something. But oh boy, that's far from all the evidence I have. Lucasfilm has released an official, not fan-made, official poster that has Palpatine in it. However, die-hard fans quickly exposed that the Palpatine in this picture is not a real new photo of our good man Ian in makeup. It is just a heavily photoshopped image of a toy. And I know Lucasfilm is sometimes lazy, but why not just invite Ian for a simple photo? Why use a cheap toy to advertise this expensive movie? Maybe, just maybe, this is a secret hint to us fans that Palpatine is not alive during the events of this movie, but rather simply appears in flashbacks. You may ask though, didn't we see Palpatine on the throne? And to that, I answer, how do you know it's him? There are millions of people in hoods in this franchise. What makes you think that this can't be Kylo Ren or someone else? Plus, during this part, we hear a laugh that, based on the sound alone, is clearly not from this scene. And to end all of this off, the laugh that made us all so excited and made my channel so popular, thanks for that, Disney, was actually not a new laugh. It was an edited version of these two laughs. And since this is not a new laugh, but rather a combination of these two old laughs that I just showed, this means that this is probably a repeat of the old scenes. And I'm surprised at how not many people caught that when they first heard the laugh. That's just a repeat of the previous laugh, so it's probably not a new scene. Probably not alive he is. So, was that enough to convince you that Palpatine is not alive in episode 9? Or did Jar Jar just think too much? Tell me below, I'd really appreciate to know your opinion.